Now, hip-hop nowadays isn't exciting enough, or is it? I'm asking this question because an OG in the game recently made a very straightforward comment about hip-hop, and I wanted to give my 2 cents on it. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, the OG I'm talking about is none other than Nas. Definitely one of the early pioneers of hip-hop. Nas is obviously a rapper who came up in the 90s. He's managed to stay relevant in the hip-hop culture throughout this time and is a very much respected figure in rap. My personal bond or relationship to his music is honestly not that strong. Personally, I didn't come up bumping Nas like that. Lil Wayne was the first rapper who got me into hip-hop, and the gap between them in terms of music and time is pretty big. That aside though, I wanted to bring up and have a discussion about some comments Nas made about what he thinks about this new generation of hip-hop. He did this interview with a magazine by the name of Financial Times the other day. Really great interview, and what he said was pretty straightforward. I'll leave a link to the interview in the description below, by the way. The specific part I'm referring to starts off with, as for contemporary rap, his opinion isn't very high, and this is what Nas said: "I appreciate what's out there, but there's no one keeping me up at night," he says. "I hear a new rap record and it's great, but I don't listen to it the next week." Really straightforward, right? Apart from that, he didn't elaborate on his comment, but what he did do though was bring up the late Pop Smoke. God rest that man's soul. Nas was, a fan of him. He said that he was very happy to see Pop Smoke coming up and that he was a breath of fresh air. That's something we can definitely agree on. I think it's interesting to see someone who was literally here from the beginning of it all. Not only that, also contributed to the evolution of this genre feel this way. Although I will say this, it doesn't surprise me at all. One thing I want you to realize about someone like Nas, or any old school rapper for that matter, is the fact that all these guys came up in a time where bars, lyrics, storytelling, your ability to rap was heavily emphasized, and that's how you got validated and judged. Nowadays though, rappers don't really get rated and praised off of the amazing bars they're spitting. It's more about the sound, right? It's about, can you create a dope sounding record? So hip hop right now is more sound driven than it's ever been. Someone like Nas, whose success is clearly thanks to how amazing of a rapper he is obviously gonna value that because that's how he got to where he's at. So when Nas says something like this, I don't think he's talking about guys like Joey Badass or Denzel Curry or Cordae. This seems like a comment that's more aimed at the new generation of hip hop. I'm talking the Lil Uzi Verts and the Lil Babies. Now that's the conclusion I've came to after reading what he said. He didn't elaborate on it more than that. Keep that in mind. What Nas said is something I can definitely understand though. Him saying, "I hear a rap record and I think it's great, but I don't listen to it the next week," is low-key another way of saying a lot of this new rap music that's dropping doesn't have longevity. Why would an OG like Nas say something like this? Well, because he's experiencing an era where things come and go so fast, while he's someone who came from an era where things weren't like that. The amount of money that's in hip-hop and just music in general actually is insane. We live in a time where every little aspect of music is being monetized because it's such a lucrative industry. There's so much money in it. That's led to the art not really being the focus anymore. Now it's about making it as digestible as possible for as many people as you possibly can. This is why the deluxe trend is even a thing. Not dropping a deluxe technically means you're leaving money on the table as an artist. And keep in mind, the demand for new music from these artists is insanely high. We live in a time where we get things so fast. Instant gratification is the word for that. Attention spans are also down the drain. As a matter of fact, do you remember that research paper I included in a video about a similar topic last year? If you don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much this little study was conducted back in 2014 on Spotify and attention spans. One thing it ended up showing is the longer a song is, the higher the percentage of people who end up skipping it becomes. Keep in mind, this was back in 2014. So whatever percentage it was back then, now it's even higher. This explains why a lot of the biggest hit songs nowadays are often short as hell. Making a quick little U-turn and connecting this to Nas's comments, what I have to say about that is he simply comes from a different time. He comes from a time where a lot of value was placed on things like how well can you rap, and things have certainly strayed away from that. I think an OG like Nas still appreciates rap at its core, but since so many things have changed, for him it's probably a little bit hard to really connect with all these changes that have happened in hip-hop throughout his time in the game. There are so many things that connect to those changes, but the main one, the fact that hip-hop is now way more sound focused, that's probably the biggest one. This one thing connects to so many different branches like quantity over quality. Everything is now so fast-paced. People don't get a chance to actually digest the music. There is an overload of content as in music being pushed out. That's where the attention span conversation comes in, because there's so much for us to listen to which divides our attention, etc. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I just thought this OG perspective was really interesting because, again, the person we're talking about, okay, Nas has experienced the evolution of this genre firsthand from the beginning to now. And that same man is saying, hey, there's no rappers that are keeping me up at night. In other words, I'm not really that excited about what I'm hearing. Yes, I hear a new rap record and it's definitely dope, but I don't listen to it the next week. That's what Nas said in a nutshell. What do you think about this though? Any thoughts on what Nas said? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.